Exactly 10 years ago, we had an expedition in Miljacka 2, and it was one of the most extreme expeditions in all of our experience, and it took us a long time to process this experience and in our head to find energy and power and time to organize it again. So for a few years, Branko Jalžić, the initial explorer, and me, we were discussing about the time when we will be ready to continue this. And the collaboration with French cave divers gave us this good signal that we can build a good team. And this year we decided that we are ready to do this multi-day research in this cave. Everybody, welcome to Expedition Miljacka 2019. The first exploration started 40 years ago by Bancho. And the last big expedition we had was exactly 10 years ago. And on the last expedition we stopped at Sump 6. And we have few objectives in this expedition. One is to continue the exploration and mapping of Sump 6. One is to continue exploration of downstream of Sump 4, and one is to make a topo of a dry chamber above the first lake. The big problem is in this cave is CO2, and besides CO2, technically the cave is very simple. Today, plan is to put 5 divers to put all the transportation bags. We have 10 bags behind the Sump 2. We need to decide who will that be. Fred, Bancho, Gogo I Frv. Okay? We realized that if you're going to continue the research in this cave, around 2.5 kilometer distance from the entrance, we need to set up a bivouac inside and sleep for a few days to really have a productive research. In this expedition, each member of the team is extremely important. There would be no possibility to continue research without big support of the team. The result is the result of the whole team. Miljacka 2 is one of the 5 caves in the National Park Krka. It is the biggest cave. In any multi-sump expedition, the problem is how to transport the things for bivouac for multi-day exploration.
I am doing the hard stuff because the transport is very complicated and very heavy, and it's very exhausting. So we were doing 3 days of transport, and after that we need to take a pause.
After 200 meters from the entrance of the cave, we have the first sun and a big lake. So we decided to do the transportation of all equipment section by section. After we push all of the equipment, after the sump 2, because sump 1 and sump 2 are really close, we take off our diving equipment and we carry the equipment for research and for bivouac to sump 3.
Tous ces sacs, il faut les amener au siphon et passer par des siphons. Voilà, donc il faut être plongeur à SPLO et entre chaque siphon, on sort, on récupère les charges, on les transporte, on les pose, on les remet dans l'eau, on les ressort, on les reporte, on les recharge. Et ça sera pareil pour le retour.
I think the maximum of equipment is around 200 kilo to do this expedition. That's why we are 10 and we are around 20 kilo for each caver. And all of the 10 caver carrying his own equipment to the sump 3, it's a lot of trouble. If you look at the risk, it's a lot of risk.
In cave is very difficult. Visibility is bad. Many times you don't see anything, like coffee is inside, you don't see anything.
On ramone le sol et du coup on met de la terre tout le temps et donc on passe les 2 premiers siphons dans le noir tout le temps, à l'aller comme au retour.
I'm the only person that is not a diver on this expedition, and I'm logistic on the outside. I do the shopping, do the dishes, and try to do all the boring things you should do in the expedition so other people don't have to do it. They can stay focused on their job and their part of the expedition. And I keep a diary of the expedition.
We are ready to pack. Everything is going in this one, you think? Yes.
And your t-shirt is inside?
Yes. We have everything now. We have 5 boxes, 2 for each one, with some personal things.
So, for example, that barrel over there has a bivouac inside, a sleeping bag, mattresses, and some food for cooking, because for 3 days we have to eat and sleep inside of the cave. Basically, that's it. This is everything what we need to sleep and live for 3 days in the cave, what needs to stay dry.
If somebody told me several years ago that I will be with people like this, on an expedition like this, I would say, like, no, that is not possible. People cannot do that, they're all crazy, and I'm really amazed what this team is accomplishing during the expedition.
Tomorrow we have a battle to do. Tomorrow and the couple of days that come. We have a battle with the CO2 because we have elevated the level of CO2 and it makes the job twice as hard because you can't breathe normally.
If we have a high level of CO2, it accumulates in our body. What would happen if we spend time, me and Fred, in bivouac with high level of CO2, we would just feel more and more weak and more sick.
If something was to happen behind 5 sumps, we would be in so much trouble. It would take forever to save someone from there.
Les pierres, on les met là.
On fait des tas de pierres là maintenant. Il faut glisser un peu, on va laisser une pierre. Allez, on est parti.
The cave, it's great. When you are there, you just imagine all the process that create the cave, you know? It's amazing because in any moment, one of these big rocks can just fall from the ceiling, so it's amazing, it's great. For me, the most difficulties here are the dry parts of the cave. You need to go with all your dive equipment in this difficult terrain. You need to be ready for everything.
On fait notre petit marathon, quoi. On passe 6 heures, entre 6 et 9 heures en souterrain par jour. C'est dur, on est fatigué, on a un peu mal au dos et tout, mais là, c'est du sport, quoi. C'est physique.
Yeah, it's very, how we say, hard stuff. Always carry on, going down and up and water.
It's totally extreme, and I like it. I like to suffer for the team.
Well, they stole some 2.28% of CO2. On this expedition, we brought the instrument to measure the CO2 level on different points. And here, at the sump number 3, the CO2 level is 2.12%. That's acceptable. Usually, the CO2 is 1%. So we feel very good. I'm very happy because of the low level of CO2. Now, this new information from passage between sump 2 and sump 3 with a low level of CO2 gives us positive information that in front of sump 5 we will have a low level of CO2, and me and Fred can spend there a few days safely. Tomorrow we have the most hard day. After we exit the sump 3, we have to walk another 700 meters to come to the place where it's planned to set up a bivouac.
I'm ready psychology, but now I know how it's going on there. So it's hard. I'm ready here, but yes, I'm ready.
Today we have the most difficult day. We are getting all of the equipment in front of sump 5 and we are setting up a bivouac. If we manage to do all that, then Fred and me stay and the rest of the team has to go out. So it will be a long day. Before any new exploration, I feel a little bit fear because I don't know what to expect. I think it's normal. I'm never relaxed when I go to a new place where I've never been before. The sump 3 is clear, but there is a lot of current. So every diver has to fight with the current to get through the sump.
On a installé des cordes à fixe et du coup ça nous permet de tirer dessus et le chemin il est plus direct. Sur le fil d'Ariane, si on tire dessus, on le casse. Donc là, on a mis des cordes SPO. Donc tout le monde peut tirer dessus, comme on a des charges un peu, et on ne réfléchit pas. On rentre, on tire sur la corde avec les mains, on palme, et ça va vite, et ça sécurise le siphon.
Can you explain, please? We find the fin of your last expedition. Perhaps in 10 years I will find my mask because I lost my mask. It's good. It's good.
The current was a lot stronger, and we were using the hands to pull ourselves. We couldn't swim with the legs. And the current was so strong that it slipped off my fin, off my feet. And now they find it after 10 years.
Dedo, povedi nas.
To the sump 5, we have around 700 meters of walking. We have 2 places where we have to put the rope and climb over some big rocks.
We have good sensation. We don't feel a lot of CO2, but we will make some tests when we arrive to the base camp. Because at this time, we don't know exactly if we can sleep or not during these 3 days. We'll see.
Expédition. Parce que 2 plongeurs de pointe, un plongeur déjà, ça demande du matos. Et alors là, 2, c'est vraiment une lourde expédition.
There is 10 people who carry on this all equipment there. 2 divers dive, something like you going in the Himalayas, you know.
Without the team, it's not possible to do something like that.
The team is everything. The team is everything. You can't do anything without a team.
We are kind of a community where everybody is equal and we look practically the same. And we have to take care of each other a lot. Everybody works for the team. Now we are unpacking the bivouac. First we are checking if everything arrived here dry, because if it didn't arrive dry, we cannot continue the exploration.
Understood. Sleeping set.
A sleeping set, yes.
Jel ne sad još, Jenny?
We have very little CO2 level and apparently everything that you bring here is dry. And after that we will set up the bivouac.
Hoćete ovako ili?
Može tako, super.
Može, a? A tamo je malo kamenje pa...
10 years ago, Branko Jalšić and Vedran Jalšić, father and son, started to go in Sump 6, and they gave us the first information that we can do some serious research over there.
It was be a little expedition, we can say expedition, because 4 of us going to the Siphon 5, and Ved and me going to Siphon 6. We stopped because we haven't, in this time we haven't a rebreather, and now Petra and Fred is going so far from where we stopped.
In reality, you just continue his initial job, and it's very good. And this is one of my job in this team, just to find the good technical solution for the exploration. There is 2 important points about our strategy. It's to sleep just before the Sump 5, and the other thing is to use rebreather, because it's just 24 kilo for each one, and we can dive 6 hours. At the end, you have all of the equipment in front of you, and all of the team go away. They come back at home, and you are just with your diving partner in this place.
When the team is leaving, it's a kind of a strange moment. They leave the things and we look at each other and they say, okay, we did as much as we can and now it's up to you. Then you know the effort that these people have done. You have big responsibility to show that all of their effort was worthwhile.
You have the pressure on your shoulder because you need to make something nice for all of the team.
We are ready to sleep.
Yeah.
And tomorrow we wake up and we go for a new exploration.
Yeah.
Good night. sleep through the night, and the next day we started our exploration.
It's not easy because we are not close to the end siphon. First we dive in a SEM5, and after the SEM5 it's necessary to carry everything to the SEM6.
We discover a big passage, 10 meters wide, 5 meters high, with maximum depth of 12 meters, just going on forever. Actually, it's beautiful. You have a most natural environment you can have, intact by humans. We also saw a few very, very nice adult individuals of proteus. We find more and more life as we go inside.
We find a very strong stream. That's why we start to use a scooter, not only for the SEM5, but for the SEM6 again. And we completely crash the strategy about the battery consumption of the scooter.
Also, there was another problem. My zip on the dry suit got broken. And the water started flooding my dry suit, so I was wet and cold. Fred asked me all the time if I'm okay. No, I say I'm okay, we continue. I'm wet, but we continue. We have to do the 400 meters. We have to empty 2 reels that we have.
We finish the dive, we come back to the base camp. We try all of the night to dry everything, but at the end, we can't. That's why for the second day of exploration on the SEM6, we decide that I will do it alone.
At 10 o'clock in the morning, he dived. He took my rebreather.
And for this second dive, again, I've got a lot of stream in front of me, and I take again the scooter, but alone. And I continue to the end of the safe line, but I finish to kill the battery of my scooter. I know at this moment that this is the end of exploration. I come back and I do all of the mapping on the way back to the SEM5.
So when he returned, I was in a pretty bad condition. I had a really, really strong headache and I almost puked. So I was completely destroyed from CO2.
And that's why we decide to stop everything and to come back outside for normal breathing.
The team came to help us transport some stuff out. And this was the conclusion: pack everything and get out of the cave.
only when I come back that I start to be relaxed. And I only think about the way back to the entrance of the cave to breathe some normal air.
So it was a successful mission. In the end, we mapped 495 meters of distance. So our goal was 500 meters, and we reached it. The most important part of this exploration that it's not finished. This is what makes us happy. We stop at a place that's huge, and just continues. So it's a big perspective for the future. It's important to, let's say, put a light in this cave and show to the people how beautiful they are. It's the only way that we can protect it and take care of it. It is our resource of drinking water, but also it's our oasis of wild animals.
Sugar. I don't eat sugar.
Yes. Full of yourself.
meters. This is the conclusion of this exploration. This is what we will write on the mapping. But
when we get back in the camp, then when you collect your thoughts during the day and when you see what was happened, and then I'm satisfied.
It's a great experience. It's amazing. I am grateful about the invitation to this expedition, so I'm happy.
I'm happy to be able to do an exploration of this kind, because this kind of exploration, it's one of the hardest things you can do in speleology of whatsoever. But it's also a challenge. It's also a challenge. I like challenges.
Pour moi, c'est une aventure humaine, quoi. Tu rencontres des gens, des spéléos dans un autre pays, et en fait, on est pareil. On s'aperçoit que les spéléos, ils sont tous animés par la même chose. La découverte, l'exploration. On le fait tous pareil, on est tous passionnés, et c'est génial, quoi. C'est génial.
In this expedition is very good. I like for come here and working when need people.
When I asked them, will you return? And everybody said yes. This is the most important moment when you know that we did a good job.
Yeah, it's very, very hard, but we meet so many nice people, different culture. After all, we can say we enjoyed.